So first things first, I am just putting the meat into the pan and cook that. And I do have 3 pounds of chili meat here. Each of these packages is a pound. I like to make a lot. My light is out. Unfortunately, I can't see as good as I'd like to, but I'm just going to go in here and cook this meat. Kind of breaking up the meat a little bit. And I'll show you just a few minutes. Have a little smoke from this electric stove, which I hate electric stoves, but it seems like I've always had one. I'm going to put 1 package of the mix into the pot so that it can cook along with the meat while it's cooking. And then I'll add the others, as I add more ingredients, I'll add the other packages. So before we add anything else, like tomatoes or the onion, which I'll be adding the onion soon, I like to let the meat cook a little bit. So I'll just show you. It's kind of what it looks like right now. It's kind of dark, sorry. I'm going to take out a cutting board and then get a knife and cut my onion. Just getting this part out of the way before I come back to the video. Okay. So I just basically peeled it and cut off both ends. Now I'm just going to basically cut the onion. Now onions don't generally make me cry, and wearing glasses does help. But if onions makes you cry, if you freeze the onion before you cut them, that really helps a lot. Or they say you can also cut onion underwater, which I don't know how you're supposed to do that, but that's what I've heard. And I like mine not so diced. I like them a little bit bigger, but you can cut your onion however you want. But this is the way I like to do mine. But my eyes are crying just a little bit because probably because I said that they weren't going to. So I'm going to put that in the pot. And the meat is simmering now. Smells good. Now again, this is not a made from scratch chili, but it does taste like that. This is the lazy way of making chili and beans. But if you want to make it from scratch, the only thing different you'll do is put your own spices and make your own beans. Make whatever spices you like. You can make it hot or mild, and I've always made mine mild. I don't like my food very hot. Ascalon doesn't like his food very hot, so I always made mine mild. And now I'm trying to open a can in case you're wondering what I'm doing. And I have a really bad can opener because it's not cooperating with me. I only used half the onion. If you want to use more onion, that's fine. I may add more later. We'll see. I'm fighting with this can. So I'm basically going to drain it. It doesn't have to be a particular brand. I buy whatever, but I was having some trouble finding any diced tomatoes that didn't have salt. So this was like the only brand that had salt. So I do not like the no salt added. It makes the food very bland. But if you're on a no salt diet, then that'd probably be a good choice. Okay, finally I get into my can. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. My meat is still cooking. I'm just going to give it a mix. And then I'll bring you over, and I am going to add more onions because I feel like it needs more onions at this point. So this is what it looks like right now. The meat is still not fully cooked, but it definitely needs more onions. And if you don't like onions, you don't have to add any. One thing I always like to add that I am out of right now is dried mustard. I usually add dried mustard to everything that I cook, but I am completely out of the dried mustard. It just sold at the store, and it just adds a really nice flavor to anything you cook. Again, I like my onions chunky, so I'm going to leave them like that. Put that away. And that one didn't go. Kind of the way I like my chili and beans. I think some people don't like onions in their chili and beans, but I do. So that's why I put them in there. This is looking really good. And smelling really good too. So I'm going to look for another can opener. Hopefully there's a better one in here. I kind of have a mess in this drawer. So I cannot find one. I know I have one. I have no idea where it is. It's not moving. Going to have to basically do it this way. Improvise. If you don't like so much tomato, you also don't have to add as much as I am. I use 3 pounds of meat, and it calls for 1 can of tomatoes for each pound. I may not put all 3 cans in, but I'll see what it looks like once I have this in there. And when I add this can, I will add another pack of the seasoning mix. And then I'm going to drain this first. Now, I don't like my chili and beans soupy. So if you like yours a little bit soupier, then you can certainly add some of the liquid from the can, but I don't like mine that way. So I always drain my tomatoes. So this is a really fast meal. As you can see, this is a 30-45 minute at max. So you can see that the beef is already almost cooked. I'm trying to give you the light so you can see. You want to make sure it's really done. But it's a very fast meal to cook. So if you want a quick meal and have a pack of chili meat and can of tomatoes, you can make chili and beans. And as you can see, this is a lot. There's going to be plenty left over. I'm going to clean up a little bit of my mess here. So I'm also going to make some cornbread. I'm only going to use 2 bags. It's just me and Ascalon. I don't know why I'm making so much food, but we'll have this for dinner tomorrow and probably for lunch. So I'm basically emptying the cornbread. This is my favorite one. The one that's the yellow cornbread mix. I'm not a fan of sweet cornbread, so I always get this one. And basically all you need is some 1 egg for each package, so I'm going to go ahead and put the egg in there. Smells really good. I'm saving that last pack of chili mix for when I add the beans. Normally it calls for milk. Unfortunately, I do not have milk, so I'm improvising again, and I am going to have to add water. This may be the worst cornbread ever. That is smelling really good. Show you what it looks like. Wish you could smell it through the phone. And it is Sunday, so I don't ever wear makeup on Sunday. So that is why I look this way. I have no makeup on. I don't wear makeup on Sundays usually. And unless I go to church in the morning, then I will have makeup on, but I will not reapply it or anything. So now I'm going to try to start opening a can of beans, which is my favorite. This is the big can. I'm probably not going to put all of it in there, but I'll see. Now to fight with the can opener again. Don't know why this can opener doesn't like me, but it doesn't. Again, you have to definitely drain these beans or you will have very soupy chili, and chili is not supposed to be soupy. These are not homemade beans, but they taste really good. Mr. Bush does a very good job on these. Come on, can opener. Acted like it wanted to go. Okay, let me drain these. So I added the whole can. It looks like it's the perfect amount. So it's basically 3 cans of beans there with 3 pounds of meat. Adding this last pack. Mixing that in so the beans can get some fresh seasonings. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Oh. The meat is now fully cooked. The onions are cooked. Doesn't that look awesome? Yeah. That. Ugh. Nicole would eat this whole pan. So, I'm going to get back to my cornbread over here. I'm going to add a little bit more and mix this up. This is probably going to be the worst cornbread because, again, I did not have milk. But we're winging it. It's what you got to do when you want cornbread and don't have milk. So the next thing I'm going to do is butter my pan. I always believe in buttering my pan. A lot of things say you don't have to anymore, but I've always buttered a pan, so I butter my pan. This another little mix. Go ahead and pour that in. Again, this is 2 bags of cornbread. Basically need 2/3 cup of milk and an egg for each bag. Haven't even turned on my oven. That's smart. Now I'm presetting the oven while that sits there. I have another can of tomatoes, but I don't think I need it. I'm gonna taste right now and see what it tastes like. Good. So good. So I'm basically going to let this do its thing here while my cornbread bakes. I'm going to go ahead and put a cover on it, but leave it open. I'm not going to close it all the way. My kids are like me and they love cheese, so I'm going to grate up some cheese. We eat cheese with everything that we can. Trying to clean up my mess a little bit. I'll use a paper plate instead of a bowl. And for today, I'm using Great Value Colby and Monterey Jack. So this is a really good cheese. I like it. Great Value does a good job with their cheese. So this is what we're using. Now, if I was making this for my kids and they were here, I would need like 3 pounds of cheese because we love cheese. But since it's just me and Ascalon does not eat that much cheese, we'll be good with just maybe half of this, maybe even less. And I always prefer to grate my cheese. You can buy grated cheese if you like to do that, or if you don't have a grater. But I don't know why I like to grate my cheese, so I never buy grated cheese. I will always grate my own cheese. And I guess that's all I'm going to do. That's plenty for Ascalon and me. My grandson Chaos also really loves cheese. So as you can see, this meal is very, very fast. It's only been 23 minutes, and basically the chili and beans is done. We're just waiting for the cornbread. If you make the cornbread first, have that ready, and you know, it's a total of about 30 minutes to make this meal. One thing I'm good at is 30 minutes meals. That's all the time that I want to spend in the kitchen, and I think, you know, you can make a pretty good meal in 30 minutes. So I'm going to stop recording for a while, and once it's all ready, I will come back. Thanks.